Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders with Marketing Huddle, and today we have with us Dave Brown, who is a senior partner at Southwestern Consulting. Welcome to the program, Dave.
Thanks, Mike. Glad to be here.
Hey, well, let's start off and give us a little bit of your background of your entrepreneurial journey and what led you to this world of entrepreneurialism, and then how did you move into Southwestern Consulting?
Yes, sir. Southwestern Consulting was a brainchild of me and a couple friends back 15, 16 years ago. We had sold a product like most of us get into this great profession of coaching, and we had sold a product, and we thought, hey, we're pretty good at teaching people how to sell this thing. We've done well. We've made a lot of money. We've grown, and so we need to create a place, create a company, create a business, create a lifestyle where we can do that. And Southwestern Consulting, as a result of that, 11 years ago, we started the business. And basically, we are sales and sales leadership coaches. We teach people how to get out of their own way and have the life that they want, but specifically on the sales and the sales leadership side. And it's bumps and bruises, right, Mike? I mean, you've gone down that road, man. I mean,
yep.
we've fumbled around. We've screwed this thing up every which way imaginable. And entrepreneurialism, just sticking with it and just saying, hey, the only thing we know is that we're not going to quit and until the money runs out. And I mean, we were 2 weeks away from it running out and literally shutting the doors at one point in time. But that's whenever the toughs get going, right? And that's when we put our head down. It was the 2008, 2009 thing. So, Southwestern Consulting is a result of all this, and we've got something pretty cool working now. It's actually pretty humbling. It's pretty awesome.
And, I love when I hear, we started doing something and we kind of took our nose off the grindstone and looked up and we're like, hey, this is working. And after you've had some hiccups and hurdles, because we all have, and you've persevered, and then all of a sudden a system or a process or a technology comes out of that, and you start thinking bigger and broader, and okay, so now let's dive deeper onto that, give back to the industry, and see if we can pass along this knowledge to people. So in those 11 years, what's your firm grown to? How many coaches do you have working with you?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, we're just still a bunch of kids feeling like we didn't figure this thing out. We've got 97 coaches that are spread out in 5 different countries all over the world, mostly here in the U.S., of course, but 97. We got about 145, 46, 47 people in the company with support and, staffing and all that stuff, operations. We call them our special ops team here in Nashville, Tennessee. But, yeah, we got about 97. Pretty awesome. Get to that 100 mark.
Yeah, that's really, really awesome. And the thing that strikes me when I hear that is you are not in an industry where there's no competition, because you have a competitor or two, right? Yeah, so there's other coaching organizations that someone who is a coach could come and align with. So what is it about your organization that sets you apart from other coaching organizations?
Yeah. And if I could kind of take it a different way, if I could tell the listeners why they wouldn't make it at Southwestern Consulting, I don't know if there's any coaching types or people that are listening on this or people that want to be in the, the one-on-one, basically professional development type of industry and coaching people. So if I can kind of go down the line, spend a little bit of time to think about the 5 reasons why somebody would not make it at Southwestern Consulting as a sales coach or a sales leadership coach, because we get hit up with resumes all the time. I mean, we're really doing an amazing thing in our business because our clients, anybody that works with us for at least a year, they will grow their income at least 23% if they give us a year. And we're not satisfied with that number. We want people to grow 50%, 100%, and many do. We've had some people, like, just got a great testimonial letter from a real estate agent that grew 1,937% over last year. And I mean, she was no slouch coming into it. Obviously, we were just knocking out of the park.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the previous year wasn't like 2 transactions and then they did like 9. They were probably a rock star to begin with.
Yeah, she was killing it, and she's down in Florida, and now she's uber killing it, so to say. I mean, that doesn't happen with everybody, but that's the upper echelon. That's what goes on. So here's a couple reasons why you would not make it at Southwestern Consulting as a sales and a sales leadership coach. First one, and it may sound a little weird, because you want to coach. Big reason why you would not make it here is because you want to coach. What we are, we're practitioners first, and speakers and authors and coaches and all that other crap second. Okay. We live this stuff. We live these principles. We are out every day like selling. Who are we to be telling people what to do in sales and sales leadership if we don't actually do this stuff ourselves? It blows me away how many yahoos are in this coaching profession that are touting how many LinkedIn recommendations and connections they have, and look at how many followers on tweet this, tweet that, Instagram here, and I've got 30 years of experience killing it in the sales world. Like, no, what you have is 1 year of experience that you
30 times over.
Yeah, you repeated 30 times, and now you think you're amazing, and you're going to get into this industry. And just coach people. Like, who cares about all that? It's not about what you've done. It's about what you're doing. And the best coaches, and those are the people we hire, are practitioners first, and speakers and trainers and coaches and all that other stuff second. So that's the first one, because you want to coach. You wouldn't make it here if that's what you wanted to do, and that was the end all tell all. It wouldn't be a great fit. That's the first one.
That's a really interesting piece, too, because I think a lot of people hear the bright, shiny object of coaching and lifestyle, and I can do that. But if you don't have the substance beneath you, then you're building that castle on sand and not a solid foundation.
And it's so quick to get stale. It is so quick to get stale in this profession. Like, you constantly have to be working on yourself, or none of it works. None of it.
Yeah, because what does Tony Robbins say about Kanai? Constant and never-ending improvement, and that goes for the coach as well.
There it is, man. There it is.
So what's another way that someone would not fit into your organization?
Absolutely. The second one is because you think you have the answers. People get into this industry because they think they have the answers. Average coaches tell their clients what to do because of their experience or what they've done. The best coaches, we say this all the time in our group, we have the right questions, not the answers. We teach a set of principles that have been around for 161 years. We're part of a larger entity called Southwestern Advantage, and some of you might be listening, might know this program. It's a college program where college students go out and sell books and study guides and software door to door during the summers to pay for school. And that's what I did back in my college years, and so did all my business partners. That's where it comes from. The company started in 1855, and we've been teaching people how to sell for that long. We started our division 11 years ago, and one of the biggest things we learned through the Southwestern principles is our job is to pull it out of them. We almost want to work ourselves out of a job. If you're not working yourself out of a job and duplicating yourself and creating somebody that is as powerful as you are as a person and as a parent and spouse and friend and partner and fill in the blank, then you're doing it wrong. And honestly, I see it all the time. People come to our company, we got tons of resumes, and I'm going to do this and be that, and they just want to talk. They keep clients for 15, 20 years because they make that client almost reliant on them. And the client, it's this weird self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, they need me. No, they shouldn't. You aren't supposed to have the answers. You're supposed to empower them to figure this stuff on their own, because that's whenever true learning happens. I mean, if you have kids, everybody knows that. Everyone knows that. You don't tell your kids what to do. What do? They say, yeah, screw you, Dad, I'm out. They're like, not doing that.
Do as I say, not as I do. But the coach needs to be doing it and leading by example and guiding and asking the right questions and prodding, not necessarily, let's show up for that coaching session, and here's the 3 things you need to do today. See ya.
Oh, gosh. No, yeah.
Great. Well, what's number 3?
Not for us. Number 3, because you don't look at and fully understand your client's numbers. That's the third reason why you would make it here, because you don't look at and fully understand your client's numbers. All of life is a numbers equation. All of it. And some of you coaches might be sitting there going, yeah, well, I don't really coach in the sales space or any of that. I mean, I should, and I kind of do. And it's funny how many times our conversations go down that road, because, there's more salespeople in this world than there's anything else, the oldest profession ever. Oh, although some would argue there's another form of profession that's a little older, but that, that's only a subset of sales, I would say. But all of life is a numbers equation. Numbers, this is what we always say, numbers never lie. People do. Yeah. People's habits. What are your habits? And of course, in the sales world, you can track how many times people are calling people, knocking on doors, asking these questions and closing and asking for referrals. But what about the stuff that's actually going to make the big difference in their life? How many date nights are you going on with your spouse? How many times are you in the Bible, every week, if that's important to you?
Yeah.
How many times are you spending time with your kids? True quality family time when you're not staring at your flipping phone screen for 5 minutes and all your kid's doing is watching you do that. Where is your attention going? And then the best one that I love, one of our clients out in New Orleans started to track his cuss-free days. He wanted to stop cursing, literally wanted to stop cussing. His daughter got sent home from middle school because, just said the wrong word a couple of times, and he goes, screw this, I need to change. And 6 months, he's cuss free now, and it's funny how that's been the most impactful thing in his sales.
Because it became to be a domino effect. And when you said not knowing numbers and what to do with them, I think there's two excellent observations right there. Is knowing the numbers or seeing the numbers is one thing, but then knowing how to interpret them and numbers are just an indicator. So seeing a certain number and going deeper on that and asking that client, well, tell me about this and what does this mean to you? That's a whole different realm. But then you also brought up another aspect, which is numbers are not just the numerals that go into the business. They are the activities and actions that impact bigger things, like what you were giving examples of. How are you with family relationships and this and that and the other, which then have a big impact on the actual sales numbers in an organization. I think that is a massive aha. Roll to number 4. You're on a roll, and these are really, really powerful things. These are, people would not think of this, and I think that even if someone wanted to work for you and could not meet one or more of these, but then took these to heart and improved them in their own coaching, they will walk away from this conversation improving their coaching, even if they never work with you. So what's number 4?
Yeah, and they don't have to work with us as long as they're serving the world and pouring to people. That's all that we want. That's what we're completing our mission is why we're on this earth in Southwestern Consulting, what we are as a company. So thank you for saying that. Yes. Number 4, because you want to make people feel good. That's why you would not make it at our business, because you want to make people feel good. So many people get into this industry because they want to help people, make them feel so good about their life and how great they are. And we do that too. But true change, and you know this, and everybody knows this, Mike, if you're a true entrepreneur and you're actually doing it right, true change is not just encouraging somebody. There's going to be some pain on the other side of true change. You're going to have to go through some crap and encounter all that stuff that's holding you back and the issues. And your coach, if they aren't calling you out on that, and if they aren't hitting you with, man, this is what's really going on, we do that in our coaching relationships, and it's not fun. You're not paying for another friend, literally. So coaches get into this thing, and they will have their clients basically paying for somebody just to pick them up and encourage them. Yes, you got to do that, but it's on the other side of pain. I mean, no pain.
Isn't it kind of like someone driving down the road, seeing an accident, going up to the victim and seeing like an arterial bleed and patting them on the head and going, "Oh, you're going to be just fine. You're okay," and driving off, but they're going to bleed out. Well, if you're a true coach that really cares about their client and you see some of these things, you need to punch them in the mouth and say, "Hello." And you need to say those things and do those things and hold them accountable because you see the danger of the path they're going down. And then, and I know that myself, I teach marketing for some universities, and I recently got an email back from a student that said, and this is an adult learner, I mean, he runs a whole regional recruiting firm for another college, and he said, at first, I was just put off by you towing the line and holding these classroom expectations, but at the end, I learned so much better. Thank you for doing that. And I think that's what happens in a coaching relationship. You need to see it and hold them accountable. That's a really, really big point.
Yeah, you're gonna make your clients mad. It happens regularly in a good way, and as long as you've got the expectations set up on the front end as to what you want to accomplish, it's okay.
And if you're doing it in love, and they can tell that,
And this is how we say it. It's 3 things. Every coaching call should be a handshake, then a slap them across the face, and then a hug them. Every single call should be a handshake. We're cordial. We're good. Let's get into what we did, action items in the past, good news, everything else. Then we smack them in a good way, professional, whoa,
wake them up.
and then we hug them. We love you. At the end of the day, we love you for this effort and everything else.
These are not problems; they're opportunities. And let's have this map for the next engagement, the next call, and let's do this. You can do it, and then that's where that hug comes in, because they can tell you're smacking them out of care and concern.
There it is.
Awesome. Number 5.
Yeah, last one, man. This is a big one, and this is
I think we need to have some thematic music playing here before this one drops.
we shoo people away all the time because of this one, and the biggest reason why you wouldn't make it as a sales leadership coach at Southwestern Consulting is because you think you have arrived in your life. You think you've arrived. You think you deserve to be coaching people. You think that somebody needs to hear your story, and it would help them. Coaching is a lifelong learning sport. It is not something you get to. It's not a finish line. It's not a qualification for something. It's not you being, boom, I got this accreditation from this well-known federation. Like, there's so much of that. I did my hours here and did this, and boom, now I've done it. I stepped away from corporate life because I'm following my dream, and man, I've done so many amazing things in my life. I'm there. I've done it. Average coaches, and I said this earlier, average coaches they coach about what they've done. The best coach on what they are doing and how they are growing. This world is changing so quickly. If you look through history, there is no other time in history where there has been so much just rapid movement because of computers, because of just technology and artificial intelligence and everything else. If you're not on the front end of this stuff, you are obsolete. And it used to be it took 5-10 years to be obsolete. Now it could take 5 or 10 months, and you're gone.
Yeah. I would almost submit to you that you would agree with this statement, and you've heard it many times before, which is what it took to get you to where you are today is not what it will take to get you where you want to be in the future. And the same would probably go with coaching techniques and strategies, because what would have worked 5 and 8, 9 and 10 years ago might not work today because of just the nuances of society and mindsets and things like that. So if you are not a student of the game and of the business and personal development and all of that, and leading by, hey, let's be a little transparent here, Mr. Client. Let me tell you, I ran into this and here's what I discovered. I think this is going to apply really well to you and what we're talking about right now. And they feel like you kind of put your arm around them with that side hug going, let's just do this because I'm learning right along with you.
Yes, and that's literally the sub point of that, Mike. So I appreciate you saying that and bringing that up. There is always somebody better than you, unless you're always working to be better. It's so interesting and what you said about we learn more from our clients than they learn from us. We say that all the time, because of how the relationship pushes us and pushes in every area to get better and stretching us. If we're truly working on them, because we coach them every other week, we coach our clients twice a month. It just seems to be perfect, and we've tried everything else, tried once a week, tried once a month, but every other week is a perfect amount of time. And we have to grow. Our off weeks when we're not working with them, we're studying our notes going, how can we get better here? If there's something, we all say this to our clients, if there's something that I ask you to do and I've never done it, you better believe I'm going to do it in between our coaching calls so that I can actually come to the call with exactly what it is. We have figured out things via LinkedIn. And I mean, this stuff is incredible. And so have our clients, because they know we're right alongside them. We say things all the time like, we are honored to work alongside you. We're privileged. We're forever grateful for you working on yourself, because when you're doing that, it pushes us and it makes us be better. So the worst thing is thinking you've arrived in your life. This is a lifelong learning sport. If you ain't doing that, man, everything's falling apart. And we hear it so much from people that interview and send us these resumes, and it's great. It's just firewood, it's just awesome fire starter paper. So that's what I got to say on that one, man. But yes,
so let's assume for a moment that someone feels like they can pass through these levels. What then would be the next step in engaging with you? And let's wrap up with that question, which is, A, I think that this has been a masterclass in just coaching in and of itself, and people can learn a ton just from listening to this and taking these points down. But B, if someone does want to engage with you, what's the best way they can reach out and connect?
Yeah, totally. First of all, I want to say it'll be the most intensely hard, most mind-bending thing you will ever do. If you're a coach at Southwestern Consulting, this will be the hardest thing you ever do personally, professionally. I want to scare you away from our organization as quick and as fast as possible, because but at the end of the day, it'll be the most rewarding thing when you think about what you're out to accomplish. So with us, obviously, we've got our website. We always want people to check that out and see who we are, watch the videos, encounter what our coaching clients are saying about us and what people do. We do a workshop model, Mike. So all the business consists of is us calling on businesses that have more than 3 salespeople, and we ask those sales managers to come out to their office and do a complimentary workshop. So it's a model that's been around for a long time, and you gotta be excited about getting up in front of people. Obviously, selling to them, which is ultimately serving them, because you're selling them a product that's only going to make them be the best version of themselves. So you go to our website, check all that stuff out. It's southwesternconsulting.com. Yes, I know it's a long one. Southwesternconsulting.com. We've got 3 divisions of our company. We've got our speaking division because we have New York Times best-selling authors. Some of you may have heard of Rory Vaden. He wrote a book called Take the Stairs. He's got one of the most popular, podcasts and most listened to podcasts in the entire world. So we have those types of people. Like, we've got those guys and those men and women. He's my best friend. We stood right next to each other at our weddings, and our families are very close. Then we have a consulting division, which is basically working with companies underneath the hood. And those 2 divisions are the smaller divisions of our main business, which is coaching. So when you go to southwesternconsulting.com, you just click on the coaching tab. And when you click on the coaching tab, there's going to be a link to see all of us. You can see all of our pictures, all of our resumes, all of the amazing people that have went through these 5 things and went through the ringer and said, screw it, I want this. I want to do this for my life. I want to do this for other people. And you just click on join our team right at the top. You'll see it pretty clearly, Mike, right at the top. It says join our team, and you just fill out a real quick form. And after that, you fill that form out, and we will be working with you for the next 2 months. I'm trying to tell you why you won't be able to make it here, and if you can convince us
and if you do,
go through that ringer.
Yep. Then you have made it. That's awesome.
It's a beautiful thing. Yes, sir.
That is awesome. Well, Dave, thank you so much for your time. I just feel your energy and your passion and enthusiasm, and I just love hearing that. So thank you so much for all you do for the industry, for the individuals that you work with and serve, and thank you for your time today on the program.
And thank you, Mike, for putting this kind of stuff out there to people and allowing it to be a great place for people to share their insights and knowledge. And, man, you're a great man for doing that. So thank you, sir. Of course, I'm just here to answer questions and talk about stuff that I'm excited about. It's got to be your passion. So absolutely.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneursradio.com.